Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin. I'm one of the volunteers at the Science Center. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the different ears that we see out in the wild, and different type of animals, and how that might help different animals hear differently. But before we get started, I think Emily is going to lead us through just a quick how to use Zoom. So Emily, you want to go?
Awesome, yeah. So for this morning's activity, and Caitlin, jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, you'll need some paper, cardstock works great, some tape, and I see some of you have markers. That's great. We can make very decorative ears this morning.
Perfect. Thanks, Emily. So like I said, today we're going to be kind of thinking about how different ear shapes might lead to different sounds. So have you guys all seen different animal ears? Yeah, maybe your dog has different ears than you, and maybe your cat. Maybe if you go to the zoo, there's lots of different ears. Do you guys have any hypotheses or guesses about why different animals have different ears before we get started?
Why do you think? Any thoughts about why different animals have different ear shapes? Oh, go ahead and unmute yourself, Jerome or Jacob.
Um, because they need to hear different things, maybe
Mm-hmm.
for predators or prey.
Yeah, that's a great hypothesis. Or maybe ear shapes let them things that we can't hear. Great hypothesis. Okay, so before we actually get into making different ear shapes, let's think about ways animals might use their ears. So have you guys ever seen like your dog or your cat move their ears? I know I've seen people's dogs, their ears kind of twitch back and forth, right? Have you guys ever seen that? Okay. Do you think that might change the types of sounds that an animal hears if they're able to move their ears? Yeah? Okay, let's try it. So what I want everybody to do is we are going to make different types of ears with our hands. So the outside of your ear is called a pinna, and Emily might be able to write that word for you in the chat so you can see how it sounds. This is the pinna. And what I want you guys to do is we're going to use our hands and we're going to change the shape of our ears. So if you put your hands like this, your ears are facing forward, right? But maybe you want to put one up like this and see how that changes the sound, or like this and see how that changes the sound. So what Emily's gonna do right now is she's gonna play some music over her computer, and we're gonna listen to see what the sound sounds like. Ears are like this.
Making music from the sounds of nature. This is Wild Beats. Made from 100% organic animal sounds.
Try
Welcome everyone.
changing where your pinna are now. Does it sound differently if your ears are like this?
Barnyard code. Because we beatbox down on the farm, like found from the farm, like found on the American farm.
How'd that go, guys? What do you think?
Some of these characters you may have heard before, but just listen to how musical they sound.
How can you
If we
hear
get
them
lots
most?
of animals together, there's no telling what kind of music we can make. Let's see what they have to say.
Huh.
What did you guys think? Where could you hear, where were your ears placed? It was good. Where could you hear it the best?
It was very weird, like the sound.
Yeah.
When my ears were like this. You heard the best that way? Yeah.
You did some different ones? Yeah, so did having your ears change, pointed different ways, kind of change how the sound sounded? Yeah, isn't that cool? Did you have a question, Jacob or Jerome? A comment?
I do. I didn't hear anything when I turned my ears backwards.
Oh, yeah, that's a great observation. So when your ears are pointed backwards, the sound has to travel all the way behind you and then to your pinna. Whereas your ears are pointed forwards, it's a lot easier for the sound to get trapped in this pinna and then funneled into your ears. That's why some animals like dogs or cats or animals with lots
Jacob has a question.
Oh, you have a question, Jacob?
How do they survive?
How do they survive?
Yeah.
Different animals?
Yeah.
So different animals have different what's called adaptations.
Which are things that help them survive.
Exactly.
Like fins or fur or what?
So that connects really well to what we were saying before about how different animals might have different ear shapes because they need to hear different
water to swim.
Exactly. So different ear shapes might help different animals be able to survive better because they can hear differently. So some animals might be able to move their ears in different ways so that they can pick up sounds all around their environment. And here are some really, really crazy animal ears.
Those guys. Oh my goodness.
One second, Emily will share that screen again. Some different animal ears that are out there in the wild.
Wait.
Okay.
Look.
So, Emily, do you have a laser pointer? Point at the animals?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you have the laser pointer so you can point at the specific animals? It's okay if you don't.
I can use my cursor.
Do that. So up in the upper left corner, that is called a fennec fox. Do you see those ears? They're super, super big, right? And then another animal that has really, really big ears is that elephant, right? You guys have all seen elephants at the zoo, and they have that big flappy ears. Now, next to the elephant, that's a mole. And mole ears are so incredibly tiny that you can hardly see them. You know what's really cool about mole ears? When they're around so that they don't get dirt in them. Isn't that cool? That's a really, really cool adaptation. And then we also have a dog ear with a big floppy ears. And we have a polar bear with some little tiny ears on the side. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to experiment and see how these different animal ears might change the sounds that different animals are getting. So first, what I want everybody to do is we're going to take our cardstock. I'm going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. Everybody have it? Okay, we're going to make some really, really big ears that look like funnels, so kind of like ice cream cones. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your pieces of paper and you're going to roll it up. Roll it up. Until it looks kind of like an ice cream cone. So you're going to have one end that's smaller than the other end. And then you're going to use the tape to tape the funnel in place. So here's one of my ears. Oh, I see some really good looking ears. Now we're gonna make another one. So we have two sets of two ears, right? Because animals have 2 ears. Okay. Give people another minute or 2 to make their funnels. But you should have 2 funnels. And so these are making some really, really big ears, right? Like that fennec fox that had the huge ears. How's everyone doing? Everybody got some ears? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to put your ears to your head, because now we have these huge ears, and Emily's gonna play some sounds, and try putting your ears toward your computer to hear the sound and away, and see if it sounds different or not. Make sense, everybody?
Oh, you want to be part of the band too? Okay.
You could try comparing when you have your ear cones in to when you don't. Is it different?
Okay, what did you guys see or hear?
That was weird.
It was weird? How is it weird? What did you hear when you had your funnel pinna close to the microphone versus away? Was there any differences?
Did anyone notice a difference based on how your ears were facing? Philip? No.
What about, did anybody try to see if there's a difference when your ears were on versus your ears are off? Did you guys hear a difference?
Oliver, your hand is raised. You can unmute yourself. There you go. Thanks.
Louder.
It was louder.
It's louder.
Yeah, it was louder when you have your ear funnels in, your cone-shaped pinna. Did anybody else hear that too? Yeah, I see some hands raised. Yeah, so having that cone-shaped pinna or ears helps funnel the sound directly into their ears. So it's a little bit louder, and maybe animals are better able to hear really, really quiet sounds if they have these big, big, big ears. Isn't that cool? Now, another animal that has really big ears, but that don't have them shaped like a funnel, is an elephant, right? You guys remember the elephant ears? They have these huge, huge ears. Do you guys think that elephant ears help them hear sounds as well? Help them hear quiet sounds? Maybe. They don't look like a funnel, So let's try it. What I want you to do is we're gonna make some elephant ears. And so you're gonna carefully take your scissors and take your cardstock. What you're gonna do is cut out a big elephant ear. So I'm just cutting out kind of a big half circle. Basically trying to make a huge ear so it can go like this. And remember, animals have 2 ears. So you're gonna wanna make 2 paper elephant pinna. Just cutting out my second elephant ear.
Wait, I'm not ready. We're not ready.
That's okay. You guys take your time. We'll give you some time. But when you're done, you're gonna have 2 huge elephant ears, and we'll try listening again. So I'll give you guys another minute or 2 to make those elephant ears.
Why is no one talking?
Well, right now I'm just giving people a chance to make their elephant ears.
It's just so quiet, so it's
It
funny.
is quiet, isn't it? Yeah, I'm excited to see what the elephant ears sound like. I wonder if it's going to be the same or different from the cone ears that we had before.
We will find out soon.
We will find out soon. Does anybody?
I can't find my scissors, so I can't cut them out.
It's okay. If you can't cut them out, you can still use a piece of paper without cutting it out, and it'll give you the effect. So that's okay. Oh, and you found your scissors. Nice. Before we listen to sounds and while people are still working, does anybody have any guesses or hypotheses about whether or not the elephant ears will sound the same or different from the funnel ears?
Let's see, it looks like enough people are ready. I'll start playing some music and you can do that comparison. You could even put a funnel in one ear and an elephant in the other to try it out. All right, ready?
Okay, everybody get their ears.
Making music from the sounds of nature. This is Wild Beats. Made from 100% organic animal sounds. Welcome, everyone. DJ Ecotone here. Let me take you to a wild concert, Savannah style. Serengeti coming at you. Grass
One funnel in one ear and one elephant ear to see what that sounds like.
Here, among one of the greatest concentrations of animals on the planet, wildlife sounds are used to communicate when danger is approaching. But sometimes the danger gives itself away. Sound the alarm! Yeah, okay, I'll add you. Calm down.
Okay. What did you guys hear? Did the elephant ears change the sound at all versus the funnel? Yeah, Jacob or Jerome?
I didn't even hear the music with my elephant ears because I wasn't even done cutting them.
Oh no.
Just done cutting 1 and 2, which is annoying.
So Jerome, maybe you can try your elephant ears out on your own. Listen to some music at home.
That's a
Or you
great
could
idea.
just listen to us talking and see if it's louder.
What about somebody else? What did you hear?
Liam,
with your elephant ears?
you're unmuted. Go ahead.
I heard the buzzing noise because my ears were flopping. Yeah, the pieces of paper were flopping.
So they were
So
really
then it-
floppy.
So it blocked out the noise once and then it did not.
So
Okay.
because they were flopping, they actually blocked out the noise instead of collecting more sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great observation. Anybody else? Did anybody try having an elephant ear in one ear and a funnel ear in the other ear?
I saw that you were doing that.
I was doing that. Did anybody else do it?
I did not.
So that might be something to try too, because you can have a direct comparison. So you can compare what one ear sounds versus the other.
Should I play the
wonder how
music
it
again?
sounds with
People
both.
want to try?
Yeah, let's try for a minute. So have one elephant ear and one funnel ear, and let's see what it sounds like so we can compare the two. Okay. What did you guys notice? Did they sound the same or different?
So Liam said that it was harder to hear with the elephant ears, right? They actually blocked out some of the sound. Dwyer is saying the funnel sounded loud, so that was louder than the elephant ears, right? So it sounds like maybe those elephant ears don't actually catch more sound. They might have a different purpose.
Exactly, Emily. So even though those elephant ears are really, really, really big, they don't actually help the elephants hear. What they're used for is they're kind of a fan for the elephants, because you know how elephants live in really, really hot places like Africa? If the elephants get too hot, they can use their ears as a fan. So that's a different ear adaptation, right? The elephants aren't using their ears for catching sound and hearing really, really tiny things. They're using it to help stay cool. And so all of these different animals have different ear shapes that help them in different ways. So some animals have that funnel ear shape like that fennec fox, and so they can hear really tiny things, where other animals like the elephant have a really, really big ear, but it's to help them stay cool in their environment.
What do you notice about the polar bear ears compared to the elephant ears? One lives in a really hot place and one lives in a really cold place. What differences can you notice? So I'm noticing that the polar bear has much smaller ears because it doesn't want too much surface area. It wants to catch sounds, but it doesn't want to get really, really cold like the elephant ears.
Exactly. Having those smaller ears helps them stay warmer in a cold environment, whereas the elephant has the big ears so that they can stay cool in a hot environment.
So we encourage you guys to mess around with different ear shapes today. see what helps you hear more sounds, pick up sounds coming from different directions. Take a look at your dog or cat when they're hanging out and listening and see what their ears do and where they point. And we also hope to see you tomorrow for our next activity, which will be all about mixtures and solutions. So we're going to discover what happens when we mix different substances together. And for that, you'll need some basic materials, 3 clear containers or glasses. Those can be plastic or glass. You'll need, but it's nice if you can see through them. You'll need a spoon, and then water, oil, salt, and juice or food coloring. So you can find that list of materials on our Facebook page. Also, if any of you have been to the Science Center and are missing spending some time there in person, we would love to hear from you. We're collecting drawings of the things that people miss about the Science Center. So if you want to share a drawing, you can draw it, you can take a picture, and you can send it to info@sciencecenter.org or share it on our Facebook page. And we would love to hear from all of you. All right, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.